Alright, here's a little sidetrack video here. It's going to be about how to ship an engine. Now, just recently I sold this engine on eBay. This is a 2.5 horsepower Hercules. You might remember it from that series of videos I did last summer or last spring. Anyway, I just recently sold it, and the fellow who bought it wants to ship it. So, I'm going to go over the best way to kind of crate one of these engines and prepare it for shipment by truck. So, I'm going to start out with a nice pallet here, regular old, I think it's a, actually I'm not even sure, I think it's a 3x4, let me see. Yeah, 3 foot 4 inches wide by about 4 feet long. So nice pallet I chose. I found this at a warehouse. It's with the kind of, I don't want to call it solid, but you know, the slats are all right next to each other, making a good deck for it. You can see I've already laid out roughly the size that I need to enclose, which is about 2 feet by 3 feet, which is the footprint of this engine. So I'll show you the steps that I'm going to take to ensure this engine has a safe trip. Okay, now I've got the basic base frame laid out and screwed down to the pallet. You can see, let's see, the inside going this way is exactly 3 feet, so the engine will sit, the engine's base, which is right here, which is exactly 3 feet, so the engine will sit right inside there and not be able to move this way. Now I left some space along this line here because the width of the crankshaft, see, overhangs the actual base of the engine, so the width of the crankshaft is actually the inside width here, and the engine will be screwed to the base of the pallet, so it won't be able to shift. This crate is just for, you know, just external protection. It's not actually going to hold the engine. The engine is going to be screwed right to the pallet itself. The crate is just going to be around the engine, not attached to it, just for protection. Okay, so now got the 4 uprights on, 4 corners. Now I haven't yet decided how I'm going to bridge the top of them, but we'll figure that out as we go along. Just got to make sure I can get the engine in. Once I'm all done, I'll have to leave this side open, or one of the sides open, so I can slide the engine in. Alright, now that I've got the 4 uprights on there, and I'm starting to box the top in, I'm going to leave this piece off for now, just so it's easier to slide the engine in this way. But before I actually do any of that, I'm going to put the pallet and the engine on the back of my truck there, and put the engine on the pallet on the back of the truck, because once the engine's on the pallet, I can't move it anymore, at least here at my house. So, I mean, once the engine's on the pallet, I'm going to box the pallet in. I've already cut my sideboards, which are these right here, the sides and the top, and then I'll just, probably tomorrow, I'll just drive over and drop it off at the shipping point. Of course, they've got a forklift there, so there's forklifts right off the back of my truck. So I'll show you more. Alright, well, we're up on the truck. The engine's on the pallet and affixed to the pallet. I've closed in the frame. It's pretty sturdy. when I add the plywood sides on, it'll help it a lot. I was debating about whether to put little angle braces, maybe one on each end, just to, stop some of that movement there. But that's pretty sturdy. And then once I put the plywood on and I screw it all the way around, that'll kind of serve as the same principle. But I popped the oiler off, wrapped it in a rag, and shoved it in the water hopper there. You can see, looking all the way around, there's plenty of clearance around the engine. The engine's screwed to the pallet with 12 screws, so it's certainly not going to come off and bounce around. So that's about it. Well, so long, 2.5 horsepower Hercules with no tag, unknown year. Good project this was. Fun project. Learned how to do a few things on this engine. A couple new processes. So that's good enough for me. Time to seal you up. Almost ready to go. Alright, well, it's all boxed up. But I think the last thing I want to do is put kind of a backbone across the top here, long ways, down the length of it. Because I don't know if you can't really tell, but there is some flex in this plywood up top. And I don't want some goofball, throwing something heavy on top of here or something and punching through. So I just cut this piece right here. Just kind of make almost like the peak of a roof. Just run across the whole length. Just to reinforce the top, so if something does fall on it or something gets set on it, it's too heavy. Kind of lessens the chance of it breaking through. But other than that, that's how you ship an engine. Or at least that's how I'm going to ship an engine. I believe this is going to Texas. So from Pennsylvania to Texas. There it is.